Hey, what is going on, everybody? It is Nolan, or the Optimistic Gamer here, and welcome back to the Optimistic Survival Series, episode 49 to be exact, and that means that next episode is our big one. Episode 50, we are finally going to raid the ancient city, which means today we need to first locate an ancient city, something that we have not done yet. Before we get into that though, I finished up our storage building that we worked on in the last episode, and I am so unbelievably happy with how this whole area has turned out. The landscaping is very temporary. I just bone mealed the grass around here. I didn't do anything fancy like what we have heading up to this villager's house or anything. I do plan on getting around to that. It just takes a lot of time. But this is the finished storage building. I planted 3 cherry trees to complement the cherry wood facade, and I don't have doors on it yet, but I'm debating maybe leaving this as an open concept. I would obviously need to do enough lighting around here so that we didn't have any hostile mob spawning, but I think I will opt for that. So when we walk inside, you can see I did a large tree here in the middle with a little bit of green. Complements that pink very nicely. And the chests around here, I still need to make a few more. I did run out, but I believe we have 256 individual chests, so 128 large chests, if I'm remembering that math correctly, and that is how this all looks. So this is where all of our items will be stored. Of course, they will be separated into sections and things like that, but this is how that looks. We can even walk up here. I built a staircase around the facility, and I'll actually have to show you it at night. It looks like the sun may be setting, but oh, never mind. Okay, I guess it just must be that red glass. But with the lanterns around here, it definitely has a very cool look. I love the glass ceiling right up here. It makes the whole build feel way more open and a lot larger than it actually is. And again, I'm just so happy with how this build turned out. I will do a tutorial in the near future, so stay on the lookout for that. But for now, we can get on with our episode, and don't mind that, I ran out of cherry wood. I'll have to get a couple more stairs in there. But today, we are searching for an ancient city, and I actually have a pretty good idea of where we might find one. As you know, ancient cities generate below mountains, and we are surrounded by mountains all around us. A few episodes ago, I found this cave opening, but didn't quite have time to explore it. And at the bottom of this, we have a mine shaft, and I spotted a deep dark biome. Now, if my suspicions are correct, there will hopefully be an ancient city down there underneath this mountain if we get down far enough, but we will just have to take a look and see what we come away with. So I have some torches. I'm actually going to go grab the ender chest real quick, and we will head down into that cave. And this episode is all about locating the ancient city and getting ourselves prepared for it. We are not actually going to head in there quite yet, but we will rather do that in the next episode. Today, like I said though, we just want to find it so we can spend the entirety of next episode in the ancient city instead of spending a good portion of it trying to find the ancient city. So just venturing down here, you can tell I haven't really explored in here all that much because it is not lit up, and there is the mine shaft that I was talking about. I don't know if I've showcased this in the past or not. We have a lot of mobs up there and it looks safe now, so we will just have to take care of this spider right here. Not a problem. And now we can safely stand at the top of this platform and look into this cave. So very dark, as I mentioned, and our goal is to find, I remember seeing somewhere a deep dark biome, maybe over in this direction. It looks like the cave might get a little bit deeper, so we will check that out. Maybe now would be a good time to start placing down some torches. And I actually don't know how much of this mine shaft I've explored in the past, if any of it at all. although those look like torches that I have placed. So we will see if we come across any new loot. And we have a spawner. Yes, okay, I have been here before. I don't remember what the purpose was, though. It may have been when I was trying to find a brown mushroom. Or a red mushroom, any mushroom, but I don't remember off the top of my head. But I don't think going into that maze of a mineshaft is going to be all that helpful for us. We will stay out here in the open and see if we can find any parts of this cave that drop down a little more. Minding all of the mobs, of course. And here we go. It looks like that might get a little bit deeper right over here. So I will carefully fly down here. We will just land on this little notch here in the corner. And I do see some deep slate right over there. So let's give this a shot. We have a skeleton. Skeletons are all over the place, and I don't have my sword out. There we go. That'll be a little bit more useful. I don't see any skulk or anything like that, so we will just keep our eyes peeled. But this deep slate definitely looks intriguing, so let's check this out. And it opens into a dripstone cave that actually goes much deeper, so I'm liking the direction this is going. Of course, it is very easy to get lost down here. At the same time, though, I guess this is good, because if we are traveling this far underground, well, I would assume that we are positioning ourselves underneath one of those mountains, so maybe better odds for an ancient city. And we have some skulk down there, so let's carefully drop into here. It doesn't look like an ancient city, though, so I don't think that's really worth venturing into. We can always revisit it if we don't have any luck elsewhere. But for now, we will just continue on our journey looking for that. I just spotted some skulk right here. Doesn't look like anything all that interesting, though. It looks like that does feed into a cave, but nothing too extraordinary. And we have quite a bit more skulk over in this direction, and I see a skulk catalyst, so maybe that could mean something. And these mobs are just out of control today. And of course, I don't have any wood on me. We may have to go back up to that mine shaft because I am pretty much out of torches here. That's okay, we'll just keep pushing on. And again, this looks like it is just another deep dark biome, not an actual ancient city, so I don't know if we are going to get anything out of this. And I'm not seeing anything, but this is exactly why I have dedicated an episode just for locating this ancient city. I just wasn't sure how long it was gonna take, so back up here into these stone layers, we will kind of reset and get recalibrated here. We actually have an amethyst geode right down there. Those are always nice to know the location of, but this does not look all that familiar though, and I'm not seeing any torches, so I'm a little bit concerned about where we are. And I just saw an opening right here down to a small cave that doesn't look like it would feed into an ancient city though, so we will pass on that. And is this going to dead end? It looks like it might, although it could open up in this direction. And it looks like that's what it's gonna do. We have a little bit more skulk right here, but no ancient city. We're a little bit high in elevation for an ancient city anyway. Well, that appeared to just be a dead end, so let's work back in that other direction, see if we can relocate that mine shaft. Alright, here's the mine shaft. And it looks like this is the part that opens up. Alright, so we are back. Now I just need to remember which direction we went that first time. I think it was over in that direction, so we will try this way now. And this is dropping down, but it looks like it is just a dead end. No luck right here either. We have a cave over here in this direction. Okay, this drops down a little bit. And that looks like it is just going to dead end as well. I'm not liking how this is going so far. I was really hoping that this cave system would lead to an ancient city, but I think we're gonna have to try somewhere else. Of course, a pretty safe, well, safe in the sense of being able to locate it, way to do this would be to just go to a mountain and dig straight down. Pretty safe bet that we'd be able to find one, but not necessarily safe in execution. But I'm thinking that's what we're going to have to do. So let me make my way back up to the top. I will meet all of you up there, and we will try again from the ground level. Alright, we'll go ahead and give this mountain a shot. This is the one to the north of our little homestead down there. Well, not really little anymore. And we will just give this a shot right here. I may not be centered enough on it, but we will just see what happens. And if this doesn't end up working out, there is one more place I could think to try, and that would be over in our branch mine. I do know that when I was digging out one of the main corridors, I got to the end and heard some skulk sensors. It actually summoned the skulk shrieker, but I don't know if there's an actual ancient city there, so we can revisit it, but it may just be another deep dark biome in a cave. Alright, we have dug into some dripstone caves right here, and we will see what we can find. I will maybe keep going. Well, we have a skeleton right away. How about that? We'll go ahead and kill him. And another skeleton. These skeletons have been all over the place in this episode. So I'll just briefly check around here, see if I can find anything, but I don't want to get lost in this cave. And I think we're still pretty high up. Yeah, we are at Y60, so we have a ways to go. I'll keep digging. And we have another cave right here. This looks like the same dripstone cave that I was just in, and I believe it is, so I'll continue digging. And once again, another cave right down here, presumably from the dripstone cave that we were just in, and we have some skulk, alright. Or a skulk vein, anyway. And some falling gravel over here. Okay. Looks like we have a deep dark biome now, and I do see a skulk shrieker, so we are going to be very careful as we enter this. Again, we are just checking for ancient cities, and it doesn't look like this is an ancient city, so we will go ahead and leave here before we set off the skulk shrieker over in that corner. And this goes down a little ways. I will just drop down here and check this out, and some more deep dark, but I don't see any deep slate bricks or anything like that. So I'm not 100% sure, although things are looking a little bit more promising for us now, I can say that. Now we're gonna have to be careful as we grow near to that skulk, because we don't want to set off any of those shriekers, or if we do, we need to keep track of the number of times that we do so. Still nothing so far, and we are at minus 34. Oh, whoa, we dug right past this skulk. Luckily, I don't think. Wow. Okay. Wow, we dug right in between an ancient city. No shriekers. I didn't set off any shriekers yet. No sensors detected us. But that is about as perfect of execution as we could get. A few blocks to either direction, and we either miss it entirely, or we end up digging into the ceiling and we have to figure out a way to get down. That is some perfect execution. I am going to brag about that one for a little while. But here we are. We have made it into the ancient city, and things look pretty calm right now. A little bit eerie, and it's definitely calling our name. That chest right up there is just screaming, "Open me," but these skulk sensors are not. And there is a mine shaft. I don't think that is the same one that we were at, obviously, because, well, we would have seen this ancient city, but I'm just kind of taking this all in right now. They really are incredible structures, these ancient cities, and I am really looking forward to exploring this. Let me see if there are any. I know there are some sensors. Well, that was on the other side. I don't think there are any sensors around here, so we may be safe. Well, we have a shrieker over there, and there's a sensor. Okay, I was going to say we may be safe. Oh, there's one right up there. Once your eyes adjust, you start seeing them all over the place. But this looks like a good place to start, and then we will just kind of work our way in. But there we go. We have located the ancient city. It is in a very convenient spot for us, and just at the bottom of this hole right here, and I don't have a water bucket. If I did, I would have put some water right down here at the bottom. That's okay though. I can just elytra down. Not a big deal. For now, let's head back up to the top and let's finish off this episode with something else that I've been wanting to do for a while. And what I want to do to finish off this episode is set up a little frog light farm, which of course for that we are going to need some frogs. But first, the sun is setting. I'm going to need to trim those leaves back. The sun is setting, so I want to take a look at this storage facility because I just love the way that it is lit up here at night. We get the darkness from the night sky at the top, but right here it is all lit up, safe, protected from any hostile monsters, and I just love this aesthetic. It's a very fresh look, and it is so open, which I love in comparison with our old storage facility, which of course we can visit right now. It is just crammed. It was just crammed. I stole some of the empty chests that we had over here, but it was just very close together. Again though, I will definitely repurpose it. But for now, let's set our sights on this frog light farm. I almost said shroom light, but we are after frog lights today. Now of course, to get frog lights, the frogs have to kill a magma cube in the Nether, and the biome that they are most common in is, of course, the Basalt Delta, so we will set up a region for that farm right there, and I want all 3 variants of the frogs so that we can get all of the different variants of frog lights. The only problem is we don't have any frogs yet, so we are going to travel out to the swamp and see if we can find some. So looking around at first glance, actually I do see one. I was about to say I don't see any yet, but we have one right up here, an orange frog, which are native to the swamp biomes. I know that there are different colors for different temperature of biomes, of course, the hot, moderate, and cool biomes. So I think we can breed them in all of those biomes to get the different colors of frogs. But for now, we just need to have 2 frogs so that we can breed them. But I'm not seeing a second frog anywhere, which is a little disappointing. Maybe if I fly up, it'll give me a better vantage point. And here we go. Yep. Alright, there are frogs all over the place. That's all I had to do. So we will grab a couple of these guys, and we will bring them back to our portal, which I believe is in this direction. Alright, so let's go ahead and bring them through our portal here. And we will have to initially take them home and breed them, and then we will bring them back into the Nether, even though we are already in a Basalt Delta. And we just want to keep them away from the lava here, so we want to go over in this direction. And we don't want them falling, and we definitely don't want any ghasts around here. So let's quickly get them to safety. And are they going to jump up here and follow? I may need to break a path for them. Oh, there they go. Alright, uh-oh, that one took a little bit of damage. They're a little stubborn, that's for sure. We just have to bring them right through here. I'll block off that lava just for a little added safety. Here we go. They're just kind of taking their sweet old time. Alright, we got them into the tunnel, so now it is just a straight shot all the way home. Provided no mobs tried to attack us on our journey. Well, that was actually a lot easier to get them back than I anticipated, which I am very happy about. So we will take them over to a fence post. We'll just go ahead and tie them up right here. that will work just fine. Now, let me head over to the Minecraft wiki and read up on the frogs and breeding, and then we will get to work on that. Well, it shouldn't be all that difficult for us. So, of course, we already have the orange frogs, which are right over there. They are native to the temperate biomes, so breeding them here will just give us more orange frogs. We need to take them over to the jungle biome, which is right over in this direction, not too far. And then we can also take them up to the top of the mountain. Both of these will definitely be adventures for sure. Luckily, we do not have to travel all that far to be able to get the 3 different variants of frogs. We could even do them all on an intersection, I suppose, if we wanted to, but I think we will just do that one at a time. So let me figure out the fastest and easiest way to bring them up here, and we will start working on that. Well, before I even bring the frogs up here, I first am going to build the enclosure for them. They can jump up to 8 blocks high, and they need a water source for the frog spawn, which of course I have, as well as a torch just to keep that water from freezing. That will always keep it in its liquid form. So I'm going to work on this, and then we will bring the frogs up. It shouldn't be that difficult to do. It's just going to take a little bit of time getting up the mountainside here. I got both areas set up, and of course I have the slime that we will need for breeding them, which they seem somewhat interested in, but they aren't really following all that much, probably because they are tied up to those leads. But right over here, we have that giant stone column up on the mountains. Of course, after I finished that, I realized that it would probably just be easier to tie them to a fence right next to a source of water. So over here, right at the edge of the jungle, I have done just that. So I will need to bring these frogs to both of these places, breed them a few times, and get enough frogs to have many different variants that we can take throughout, well, into the nether, and have throughout our little valley area. So I will start with the frogs right up there. I will bring those up and we will breed those. Alright, there we go. Now, I'm not 100% sure how many frogs we get from each frog spawn, the tadpoles, but I guess we will find out soon enough. So I'm going to go sleep, and then we will take them to the jungle. Of course, I realized that once these frogs grow into, or once these tadpoles grow into frogs, I'm going to want some kind of enclosure around them. So I will do that real quick. There we go. So I will breed these 2 frogs now, and this will give us our green variant, if I'm not mistaken, or the white variant. One of them is green, the other is white. So let's go check on our frog spawn over here. I think I'm gonna have to be loaded in for these to hatch, so I will just kind of hang out AFK at the top of this mountain while we wait for that. It looks like we have 4 tadpoles down there, so we will get 4 frogs out of that. Of course, I will continue to breed them a few more times afterwards so that we can really stock up on all of our frogs and not have to do this again, at least for a while. And then over here, there's our frog spawn. Excellent. So I think we can go ahead and bring these frogs back home now, and then we will start to work on our Froglight farm in the nether. And this is not going to be anything over the top, just something where magma cubes can spawn and we can kill them, hit them with our sword a few times, and have the frogs finish off the little magma cubes. This is the basalt delta over by our swamp, and I am contemplating between this area and this region over here, which is over by our original spawn portal. Of course, you can't see it right now because of the fog, but somewhere over here where we might get a few more. Now, it's going to be more difficult to get the frogs out here, but I think we might get a little more production from a setup in this larger basalt delta, farther away from any other mob spawn, so it should be primarily magma cubes spawning. And after flying around here a little while longer, I think this is what we will go with. There, another one just spawned, so we will work on that. I will have to build some platforms out to it. I will do all of that off camera, but once the frogs are ready to be brought over, I will do that, and we should be able to have a fully functioning froglite farm. Still waiting for all of the frogs to grow into all of the tadpoles to grow into full-size frogs, but in the meantime I went ahead and created the platform where we will tie these frogs to this fence, and as magma cubes spawn in, which right now there aren't any, so bad example right here at the moment, but as soon as they do, we can draw them near. I will have to take care of some of these magma blocks around, but we can draw them near and kill them with our swords until they are the little cubes, and then the frogs will finish them off and of course spit out those frog lights. So I'm really excited about that, but since we are getting a little long on time in this episode, I am actually going to finish this up off camera and we will take a look at it because I still have to breed quite a few more frogs as well. We will take a look at this after next episode. After the Ancient City episode, we will return here at the start and I will show you this farm in action. But we will leave it off right here. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. I hope you are looking forward to exploring the Ancient City in the next episode. If you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up button and make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on videos as soon as I publish them. Also check the description for more important information, links, how to contact me, all of that good stuff. And with all of that being said, comment, like, subscribe, remember to stay optimistic, and I will see all of you tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Bye.